bass.
Welcome to another edition of Truth and Rhythm. This is the interview show that gets deep in the pocket with contemporary music's foremost masters of the groove. I am your host, Scott Dr. GX Goldfine. If you enjoy this programming, subscribe to the Funk and Stuff channel on YouTube, which is where Truth and Rhythm lives, and be an advocate by spreading the word among fellow funk, jazz, and R&B music lovers. Join Truth and Rhythm's membership program through Patreon. You can also submit a direct donation to the cause anytime at funkandstuff.net. At that site, you can also purchase the book Everything's on the One, The First Guide of Funk. Shop for official Truth and Rhythm and Funk and Stuff merchandise, and use the Amazon links for all of your online purchases, which allocates a percentage to this show. For those of you who go the extra step in supporting the show, you have my heartfelt gratitude for allowing us to continue to shine the light on those special artists whose quest is to find truth in rhythm.
I am pleased to welcome to the Truth and Rhythm Mothership soul, disco, and funk singer George McCrae, best known for 1974's #1 worldwide smash hit Rock Your Baby. With his first 3 albums going top 40 on the R&B chart, he also collected hit singles with I Can't Leave You Alone, I Get Lifted, and Honey I. During that time, he also collaborated with, managed, and married vocalist Gwen McCrae. And other notables he has worked with include Betty Wright, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, James Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Chic's Nile, Rodgers and Bernard Edwards, and Rolling Stone Bill Wyman. McCrae's most recent album dropped in 2016 and was simply titled Love. George, thank you for joining me. How are you?
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have
Glad
you all
to
the
be
way
with
from.
you. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
Good. All the way from the Netherlands, right?
Oh yes, right. At the moment, yes. I've traveled about three places actually: the Netherlands, Aruba, and the States.
Yeah. So great to have you. And so glad that we could connect like this across the Atlantic. And let's jump right in, George. And I wanted to ask you. You grew up in Palm Beach, Florida, from what I understand.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, and that's, of course, the cradle of the Miami sound and the whole TKA situation. And what drew you to singing and entertaining in the first place?
Well, it started since I was born singing, I guess, since I started in church, like most of the people in the southern part of America. And and in church at first, and from church I went to high school and junior high school, and school glee club, and also I performed also with my little group, the Jiving Jets, back in high school, and that's where I got serious about it, and that's where we first made our first little money then, singing in the group with the Jiving Jets, locally. We was that good. We made our first money then, so we became professionals. I remember that so well. And that day we only made $7, and we went to Burger King and bought and split it among us then with Burger King. And at that time, burgers were very, very reasonably cheap then, not compared to what they cost now to buy. But then it was 25 cents a burger. Wonderful days.
Yeah. Who were some of your biggest influences or favorite artists back at that time?
Oh, my favorite influence artist was Sam Cooke. That second one was Smokey Robinson. During that period, he was my mentor and idol. I just sang all of his songs, and I grew up. His voice was unbelievable at the time. Still is actually. And yeah, I learned from here. And actually, when I recorded "Rock Your Baby," uh, I had him and Smokey Robinson in mind as I was singing it
Yeah, I
as
could hear that.
inspiration.
I could see that. Yeah, with that tone and sort of falsetto. Who did you first see perform when you were young that just really inspired you?
Who did I first see when I was young? I saw an artist in high school. His name was Ted Taylor, and he had a song called "Ye Ever Wonderful." And he was out of high school, and we saw him. I saw him perform at my high school then. He had that high falsetto type voice too. Be ever wonderful, stay as you are. Yeah, that was one of my first one artists that I saw personally. R&B soul artist then, but also Johnny Taylor, um, Tyrone Davis. These were some of my influences too. Under influences as you got older and you saw these artists singing.
One artist that you didn't mention that I figured was an influence on you, you can say yes or no, was Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah, but Marvin Gaye was a time in the '70s in the late '60s, 65, 66, Marvin then. But as I was growing up as a teenager, Marvin wasn't known then. But later on, when he came about, yes, that's in the '60s. But in the '50s, and the '40s and '50s, when I was growing up, those were the artists that I was listening to then. Also, another artist was what was his name? Uh, Lil Willie John.
Hmm. Was that more doo-wop or soul, or what was that?
That's
What
R&B. He's
R&B?
R&B soul at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just growing up in the South, so you hear all these. Most of all the artists then was coming out of Mississippi and Alabama and Memphis. This was at the time, yeah, in the late '50s and the early '60s.
And you had some singles and experiences before signing Alston Records and that kind of situation. Can you tell us how that came to be?
Oh, that came about after we signed our first contract with Austin Productions out of Miami, and this is where I started my real career then as a recording artist. And some of my first songs was Back Dudes, Please Help Me Find My Baby, and a few more though, but they wasn't big hits at all. So this is I call it my trying period. I've just learned how to record then. Please Help Me Find My Baby. Yeah, it was released and got a little airplay, but didn't make it in the charts that well. But I stuck with it, and that was the time then. This is my learning experience time. And when I first went to the recording company, signed my first contract there. They spelled my name wrong. My real name was with the Y at the end, McCray. But the contract was when I saw the contract was McCrae. So I didn't want to argue with them because if I didn't change, if I'd have said no, you got to change it to the Y, I might not gotten the contract. So I kept it with the E. So I'm just known now with the E on the end of it now. But my
Uh,
passport is the Y.
so you inadvertently got sort of a stage name.
Yeah, correct.
Whoa,
Well, anyway,
go ahead.
go ahead.
What were some of the studio and performing lessons that you kind of learned before you got signed with Harry Stone in that situation?
Actually, I had no learned experience. The only experience I learned was I was singing locally and with the top 40 type band doing club dates, singing cover songs. And we was working. I was married to Gwen McCrae then, and we was working all these R&B clubs throughout Palm Beach County, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach County, Broward County, and Dade County, called the Chitlin Circuit. He was very, very popular then in the southern part of Florida. And this is where we met Willie Clark and Betty Wright, because a DJ by the name of Joe Fisher with WRBD radio station, I think was the name of WRBD radio station. He was the director there, and they was promoting Betty Wright at the time in a club in Revere Beach called the Ebony Club. And they asked us to, me and Gwen, to be her opening act. So we performed there in open act. Then Willie Clark, her manager, saw us, and producer saw us. And he came to me and said, you guys are great. I think we can do something with you. You should give us a call. Because I think we're looking for new artists. And I think you would fit our bill and, for singing. Let me record you guys. So he gave me the telephone number, and I didn't call him until a year later, because I didn't think we was ready for that yet. So after that year later, we before that year, after we performed for Betty Wright and I opened her show, I got an idea of going down to Clematis. There's a club called the Candy Bar, and it was basically a white club. And at that time, it was in West Palm Beach on Clematis, and they had the people from Palm Beach used to come over, like the Kennedys and all of those type of people used to come over. And there was actually lawyers and business people used to hang out there and they are at the Candy Bar. So I went down there and met the owner and asked him, would you mind if you sang a couple of songs there? Because they had a great band called the Apollo Memphis was playing there. 4 white boys playing, and they was only playing R&B, soul music, and pop music too. And I said, do you know the song Knock on Wood? I said, sure. So we asked Urban, could we get up there and do a couple of songs there? I said, yeah, sure. So Urban allowed us to do this, and we did Knock on Wood and turned the place out. They couldn't say, whoa. Then actually, can you do another song? Then we did Sam and Dave song, When Something Wrong with My Baby. And actually turned it out. So next thing we were sitting at the table, then all of a sudden Urban came over and bought us a bottle of champagne. Champagne? What? Oh. And he said, I'm gonna give you my telephone number. And he asked for my telephone number, so I give him my telephone number. I don't know why. So, okay, gave him a telephone number. And a week later, gave us a phone call and asked us, would we like to perform in this club along with the band? So I said, oh, wow, what a break. Okay, we'll do that. And that was our first big steady gig that we did. And we performed it for like 6 months in this club. It was a beautiful time then, because at the time we was only getting, I think it was $600 a week. But we was young then, and that was, to me, it was good money. Wow! And then on top of that, he wanted me to. He needed someone to clean the club up. So I said, "When I do that," and the reason why I said it because I had jobs already as I've been a maintenance man, working as a window washer and working in the hotels as the doorman, in housekeeping, and as a cleaner in hotels, mopping, cleaning. So I knew all that, do all of that anyway. So I said, Irvin, I do it. I clean the club every day. So I would clean the club every day and performing at night. They went on for like 6 months. We rehearsed. I don't know how we did it, but it was fun then. We was having a wonderful time then. And what happened was that,
Was that around George? Was that around like 1972 or?
it's around 1970, around 69, 70. 69, 70, something. 74. No, around what time I count? 69. They're around 1969. 69 to 70. That was the time. And I enjoyed doing it because when I was cleaning the club, every day I used to find all kinds of things on the floor. Loose cash, wallets, diamond rings and all this. And so I just find it and turn it into a ribbon because it's a very kind of club that you really, when you do something there, you find something, you have to turn it in. I found a club with big money in the wallets. But, turn it in, found it. Or even who it was, but that was good. But all the loose change I found on the floor, it was beautiful.
On top of your 600 right there.
You better believe it. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful time there. That's one of the best times of my life, performing for that club.
Yeah. About how old were you, would you say?
I was at the time I was 28.
Wow.
20 years old then.
Yeah. Well, didn't Harry Casey also start kind of cleaning around TK Records before he, made it happen there?
Oh,
too?
yeah. Oh, yeah. They started doing that too. When they came, at the time, I was already signed to TK Records when they came. And because when I recorded Record Baby, I was 30 years old. And Harry Wayne Casey, I think Casey was 21 and Rick was 17. So the big age difference. But I heard their music. So they said what happened. How that happened was, I came to listen to an album that my wife had recorded because I had stopped singing for a while, and she was doing all the recording, and making records. Gwen McCrae.
How did you meet Gwen? How did you meet Gwen, George?
Oh, I met Gwen when I was in the U.S. Navy. When I first got out of high school, in 1963, 62, I graduated in 62. In January 63, I joined the United States Navy. And I spent 4 years active and 2 years inactive. I got out in 1967. And while I was in the Navy, I was singing then also overseas. I was performing in clubs over there with the bands. And in the Philippines, Japan, they used to call me Song Boy Song. Come sing, Song Boy Song. You got to come sing, come sing, come sing. And then at the bands, I had to walk up to a band and ask them, can you play this song? Oh, no English, no speak English. And so I was hum the song to them. Go, yeah. And
universal
when they
language.
Played, yeah. And when they played, they sound just like the record. You could walk down the street and you hear a band, and you saying, it's impossible. How can it be? You thought there was the original people singing the song from the States. And one band goes, through the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lions leap tonight. I'm going, what the? And I peeped in there. And so when they finished singing, I walked over to them. I said, yeah, can you guys play, Summertime? No speak English, no speak English. Oh, summertime. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was saying, got up there, no rehearsal. We started playing Summertime. Turned the place out. Unbelievable. And after that, every time I go to the club, samba, sing, kept saying. So wonderful time. This when I was in the Navy. I was stationed in Japan and the Philippines then. It was during the Vietnam War. So it was a good time and a bad time for me.
Yeah. Well, they could replicate the music very well, but usually the vocals wouldn't sound quite right. So you would come in, I'm sure, and just
Oh,
make it
but these guys
perfect.
had, yeah, but these guys had, I mean, they had the vocals right. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
You won't believe me. They sound just like the artists. Don't like, yeah,
Yeah.
this,
And
some
there's
bands
just
can do that.
that back then that was just from the records. There was no YouTube and that kind of thing. Like now
No,
it's easily
just from the
copied.
records. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
just from the records. And then when I got out of the Navy, I performed I was staying with a group called the Driving Jets in high school. And we got back together and we only lasted a year because they was all married, having other problems. And so I took Gwen and we went duo, the Jordan and Gwen McCrae. And that's where we started the Candy Bar. And from then on, we went to a club in Fort Lauderdale called Leonard's Nightclub. And that was the same band that played with us at the Candy Bar, the Parliament. They left Irvin, and because I guess Irvin, they want to pay them any more money or whatever, so they left and went had another gig somewhere. So they left, and they left without us. And so I told Dave, "Would you take us with you too? Because we're a good combination working together." But no, he went there, and a week later, we get a phone call asking me to come down to audition with them, audition at that club. So I obliged them, so we went. And we had a wonderful time rehearsing there with them. And that opening night, we opened and the guy heard us together and we got hired. And we worked that club for about 6 months. And while I was in Fort Lauderdale, between Fort Lauderdale and Miami, I gave then the telephone call to Willie Clark. And he sent a man down to us with Brad Shapiro. He came and saw us and said, "You guys come down to the studio tomorrow and sign the contract." And that's when we went down there the next day and met the people there, and we signed the first contract with Hinder Stone,
What
DK
what
Records.
what was your impression of him?
Oh, Henry? He was he was a friendly man. You know, he was quiet. He knew us. He know he's had the beer. He do this all the time. And how you doing? Oh, you got to make some good music. Oh, okay, not a problem. We was happy, and we were happy to sign the contract because I had no idea about contracts then, and I had no money to record myself. And actually, he believed in us, and Austin Production believed in us, and that's where we met Steve Alamo. He had a great part in that too. The Steve Alamo. Steve Alamo. He was uh pretty famous back in the '60s on Where the Action Is or something like on television there. He also recorded a song Halfway to Paradise. I want to be your lover, but your friend is all I'd stay. You lead me halfway to paradise, so near yet so far away. That was one of his hits at the time, Steve Alamo. He was on Where the Action Is television show, and he became our first producer at Austin Production, and then Brad Shapiro became my producer, and then Willie Clark and Clarence Reed we all worked on as a group. It was something like a Motown thing. It was all family. We just sang on background Betty Wright records, and Betty Wright did background singing on our records, and we did together background singing together, harmony arrangements and for different artists. So it's how I learned my craft in recording then. And then Clarence Reed wrote my first song. It's called Back Dues. Give him my back dues. And that was, I think I'm the only one who bought a copy at the time. and I'll never forget that. But I never gave up on nothing. And at the time, then my ex-wife, she started calling me solo, to become a solo act. So I just fell back and let them let her do her thing. And so I began to manage her and taking care of her and doing background vocals on her songs and arranging the songs, and along with Steve Alamo. And for a good little while. And then in 1974, Case and Finch was there. And before then, Case and Finch, they had recorded a song called Queen of Clubs. And that was 1973. And that's Betty Wright, myself, and my ex-wife singing doing the background. She's the queen of the club. And that was me doing all that high on it. Doing all the high notes and everything on it. That living. And that song became pretty well known over in Europe. Hit the charts in Europe, Queen of Clubs. And so they would call themselves then, I think, Case and Junkin' New Band, before they changed to Case and Sunshine Band. And then so when they did that, next album they were working on for themselves, and they had cut this track, and it was too high for Casey to sing it. And so, and my ex-wife had just did an album in Memphis for TK Records, and they came back to give a listen to it. And while we was down to listen to her album and everything, and Rick came in and said, "George, we have a song. I think you good for your voice because you got that high voice, and she can't sing it, and we had you in mind because so we want to produce you on it." So I said, "Okay, matter of fact." So had to get permission from Steve Alamo at the time because he was the executive producer. So I would have said, "Steve, Casey, and Rick got the song, and you owe me a lot of favors now because I've been doing a lot of things for you." He said, "Okay, do it. Do the song with Casey." Okay. So I got permission. So I took the song home, listened to the track, and I asked my mother, and how you like a man to sing to you? And I asked my sisters. I asked my sister's girlfriends. So all got that woman input. How you like the man? So I thought, oh, okay, oh. And then when they said that, bingo, I thought about Sam Cooke, my mentor, and I thought about Smokey Robinson. And the reason why I love Sam so much too, because I was his idol, and Sam Cooke came to Palm Beach to perform at the what was the name of the club then? The Sunset Lounge in West Palm Beach. And I couldn't go in because I was too young. I was 16 years old then. And so he drove up in a blue and white Thunderbird convertible. I was amazed. And he got out of the car. He was walking in, and the people standing around, so he was shaking hands. I took my hand out, and he shook my hand. Like, real tight, just shook my hand. And when he did that, something I'll never forget. Never forget. Sample shook my. I ran home and told mother, I met Sam Cooke. He shook my hand. He shook my hand. She said, oh, really? Yeah, he shook my. And that's something I would never forget. And until this day now, all my fans that I meet, when I want to sign autographs and all that, they want to shake. I shake their hand because I know what that means when you do that. You know, it's something they'll never forget. And he taught me that indirectly. Yep. And so when I had Sam Cooke in mind, and I had also Smokey Robinson, and then I went in the studio, and I just thought about the feel, the emotion. I just started singing my way, you know, my style, but I kept them in inspiration, and I sang, you know, "Rock Your Baby." But at the end of the song, it just came spontaneously while I was singing the song. When I was a kid, I used to play Tarzan, John Weiss melody. I would try, you know, that yeah,
Yeah, like Carol Burnett used to do too on her
yeah,
show.
yeah. And so I went out there, well, I got the song. I went, ah, take me in your arms and rock me. Ah, take me in your arms. Ah. And that last song I held, I've kept doing, you know, separate. And Rick said, George, I'm gonna wind the tape back. And that last I want you to hold it as long as you can. I said, no problem. He came me right in the back. I went, yeah, we got it, we got it, we got it. It was fun. It was fun. It's a fun time though, you know. With young kids, working with them, and we enjoy music. And yeah, they did my first three albums. My first two albums first, and then in 1979, I did one more album with them. And every one of their albums I've done with Carrie and Case and Rick Finch. All the songs I'm saying on them are all one take.
Hmm.
Everything. All my albums I've done with them was all one take. Never telling me, so go back and sing it again. Let's do this. Because in the studio, you get up there, you do your thing, you feel it, you're in the mood, you just go with it. Go with the flow, the feel, the tracks, the music, and that's how I record.
When did you realize that was going to be such a big hit? You know, how did it hit you like that?
Oh, it hit me when, how can I say it? It hit me when my newspaper, hometown newspaper, Palm Beach Post, wanted to give me an interview. And an interview about what? My song being played on the radio and everything. Oh, yeah, oh, we want to give you an interview. About what? About Rock Your Baby. And I thought, Palm Beach Post want to give me an interview? Oh, okay. And the thing about it hit me because Palm Beach Post was the newspaper. I used to deliver their newspaper. I used to be a paper boy for the Palm Beach Post Times. So I had my route when I was a teenager delivering newspapers for the Palm Beach Post Times. I'm going, now here they want to give me an interview. I'm going, like, what? So, and next, following behind it was the Miami Herald. Miami Herald. And then another thing gave me a big signal too that I had a problem. It wasn't a problem with. I had got a phone call from my ex-wife's cousin, Marvin. See, he's calling from Detroit. George, your song is being played like hell up here. They playing the hell out of your song up here on the radio station. I'm going like, what, really? This song is burning up, man. That song is so hot. I'm going like, what? From Detroit. They still haven't caught me yet, And then Henry Stone called me down to the office. The big boss. Got someone to tell you. You got a big hit song here. Whoa. I was caught off guard, like, what I'm gonna do now with a big hit song? What I'm gonna do? I don't know what. I don't know local West Palm Beach. So he said, James Brown want to take you out on tour. Who? James Brown want to take you out on tour. Whoa! I was so unprepared. I was so nervous. Oh my God, James Brown. James Brown at the time was he was the man then, the Godfather of soul, and he was the Chitlin Circuit King. James Brown. James, you go out with James, you big time now, So I took myself and my ex-wife Gwen, we go out too, because she had all the records too. I said, it'd be nice, we go out, you go out, we go with James on tour. You got you could sing a couple of your songs that you had R&B hits. It'd be all right. So we went out on tour with James. And then after I was on tour with James, then I get a call saying, we want you to go out with the Jacksons. The Jacksons Midwest tour. A Midwest tour, the Jackson Fives, and that was because of all the pop stations had picked it up. First, it was on all the R&B stations, and then all of a sudden, all the pop stations were playing it. Your song, it's in the charts in the pop station all over New York City, Chicago, L.A., and Houston. Oh, what? Atlanta. Oh, it's on the pop station, and then my local station, West Palm Beach pop station, started playing it. I said, "Oh my God, I got a big hit like it." Then after that, you have to go on American Bandstand. Dick Clark, whoa, you got to go on Soul Train. And another one called Shindig. I think it was Shindig. Yeah, it was. So I'm doing all this television now, and I think also I was one of the first to do one of the first in Chicago when Oprah was in Chicago. I was on her show also in Chicago, Oprah Winfrey. But I had no idea who she was at the time and how big she became later on. But at that time, it's Oprah. So it's unbelievable. Now here I am now. I'm busy on traveling and making an album, the following album, after Rocket Baby, Can't Leave It Alone. It's been so long. So I did the whole album in a week's time. In case they cut the track, we did it, and so all of next thing I knew, they telling me you have to go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam? You have to go to Holland. Holland for what? Your song is #1 in Europe. Say, what? It's #1 in Europe. Next thing I knew, I'm over in Amsterdam, so I did my first video in Netherlands with Rocket Baby. And from that time on, and I did that, and the next thing I knew, I was in England, performing in England, and that's where I met Mick Jagger. in a club in England. And I told him, I just did a song with your bass player, Bill Wyman. The background vocals on it. He said, oh, yeah, I heard about that. I said, how you heard about it? Yeah, but yeah, yeah. He said, I'm happy for him. So yeah, he was right next to me. We were sitting there talking. Well, I cannot believe that. And then I'm in a hotel in England, and next to me was uh someone left a package in my room. So I checked in the room. This package was there. And I saw it, and it had a Ringo Starr picture, name on it. The Ringo Starr. There was some tapes, albums, some tapes, and everything. That was Ringo Starr. I go, shoot. So I called reception, and Ringo Starr came to my door, and picked it up. Hey, how you doing, Ray? How you doing? Gave it to him. Okay. It was just like that. And so, okay. And I thought about it. I said, damn, I should have kept those tapes. I should have kept them. How valuable it would be now, you know? Well, no, I'm not like that. I gave it to them. I gave it to him back. It was nice though, just to see him. Yeah.
Wow.
So I had a lot of experience in my whole career, but my music career was always started at PK production with Henry Stone, and God bless his soul. They all say that, oh, Henry's the crook, you know. But I said, what record company is not crooks?
Well,
You talk a
what,
lot.
yeah, especially in the 70s.
Yeah.
Do you remember, was you first hearing yourself on the radio? Was it Rock Your Baby, or did you hear something on the radio before that?
Of myself?
Yeah.
No, I heard Rock Your Baby.
So that was the first time you heard yourself on the radio.
Yeah, I heard myself on. No, I take it back. On WRBD in Fort Lauderdale, I heard what's the name of the song? One of these days. Some dual song with Gwen McCrae and myself. Back Dudes. Oh yeah, Please Help Me Find My Baby. They played it locally at the time, and yeah, that's when I heard my old songs first.
Because, that's usually something that an artist never
Yeah, locally
forgets.
locally. They play them on the radio, play them on the radio. And then mostly they play a lot of me and Gwen's song because it was a duo act at the time too. And they played us a lot as a duo together on the radio. My first solo song was like Please Help Me Find My Baby and Back Dudes. And all the duo songs we did one of these days. Our first song we recorded together was One of These Days. We did the duo. And No One Left to Come Home to as a duo. Yeah, I had a good interesting learning period. Singing on all the other acts, recording their vocals, doing background vocals on a lot of acts. I like Lil Beaver, for instance, doing background vocals on his album, and Timmy Thomas, and Benny Lattimore. Let's Straighten It Out. That's me, Betty Wright, and Gwen on that. And a few more.
I had Jimmy Bohorn on the show not long ago. Do you remember him?
Oh, Bohorn, he's from my hometown. We went to the same school. We went to his father taught me woodworking in the high school. Yeah. Oh, Doc, yeah, he was my man, his father. I loved him to death.
He also had some great James Brown stories too from back in that time period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but James though, everyone heard James, they were going hey, Mr. Brown, hey Mr. Brown. Hey Mr. Brown. I was calling him James. Hey James, hey George, how you doing? Hey James, we going to go? Yeah. That's how we had, we didn't have Mr. Brown, oh, yeah. We had a mutual respect for each other. I had big respect for him because he was the man then.
There's much more to this great Truth and Rhythm interview. Just continue on to the next part of the episode. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you've already done so, please share it with friends. And become a member by joining Truth and Rhythm on Patreon or consider donating at funkinstuff.net. Thank you very much.